Hey, what's going on, y'all? This is Mr. Fitness, the body transformation specialist. And in today's video, part one of a three-part series, I'm going to share with you the story of my client, Mary, and how Mary lost 80 pounds and she lowered her blood pressure by 60 points in just 6 months. So when Mary and I started this journey, her blood pressure was 154/99 and her weight was 258 pounds. And I am happy to say today we just checked her blood pressure and her weight, and her blood pressure was down to 115/78 and she is now down to 173 pounds. So if you'd like to find out everything that Mary did to get those results, then make sure you keep watching. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about the 5 foods that we added to Mary's diet. In part 2, I'm going to talk about the 8 foods that we took out of Mary's diet. And then part 3, the final part of this series, I'm going to talk about Mary's exercise program. So if you really want to find out everything that Mary and I did to get these results, then make sure you check the description box below, because I'm going to leave the playlist there where you can find all these videos. Now, before we go any further, I want to make this clear that I am not a doctor and I'm not giving you any medical advice. All I'm simply doing is sharing with you the story of my client, Mary, and how we were able to drop her blood pressure by 60 points and get her to lose 80 pounds in 6 months. But here's what I would recommend you do. Now, if you think this information would help you, I'd recommend you talk to your doctor. Share this playlist and these videos with your doctor. So now that we've gotten that out of the way, let's talk a little bit about Mary. Now, Mary and I met probably about 8 months ago, and Mary came to me for similar reasons that most people come to me. So most people come to me because they want to lose weight. But Mary's motivation to lose weight was different than most. You see, most people want to lose weight because they want to look better. But Mary, she wanted to lose weight because she wanted to feel better. So when Mary and I met, she had been recently diagnosed with having high blood pressure. And Mary never ever had high blood pressure before in her life. But 8 months prior to Mary and I meeting, she had some pretty tragic things happen in her family, which was one of the main reasons why Mary gained over 70 pounds. So Mary's doctor thought that her increased blood pressure was caused by all the weight she had gained. And obviously gaining so much weight in such a little bit of amount of time, Mary's doctor wanted to put her on blood pressure medication. But Mary refused the medication. She told her doctor that she was going to start working out, start eating better, start taking care of herself. And he recommended that she join the local gym, which was the gym that I worked at, or I work at. And that's where Mary and I journey started, of helping her lose weight and helping her get her blood pressure under control. So now that you know a little bit more about Mary's background and her story, let's talk a little bit about the 5 foods that we added to Mary's diet. So the first food we added to Mary's diet was kale. Now, kale is one of those foods that you either really love or you really hate. Now, with most people, there's no in between with kale. And Mary was leaning more towards the group that hates kale, but she really wanted her blood pressure to go down, so she decided to give kale a try. So you might be wondering, what is it about kale that makes it such a good food at helping to lower your blood pressure? And kale is high in magnesium and potassium. So let's start with magnesium. Now, magnesium helps to relax the blood vessels and helps to prevent the blood vessels from constricting, which allows blood to move smoother through those blood vessels. And it also helps by preventing the formation of clots within the blood vessel. It's important to point out, however, that the majority of research shows that magnesium supplementation may only be useful at lowering blood pressure in people that are magnesium deficient. But it's also important to point out that up to 50% of Americans are magnesium deficient. So let's talk a little bit about potassium. Now, potassium is a key mineral that the body relies on really heavy to function properly. Now, potassium helps to lower the blood pressure by balancing out the negative effects of salt. So your kidneys help to control your blood pressure by controlling the amount of fluid stored in your body. So the more fluid, the higher your blood pressure. Now, your kidneys do this by filtering your blood and sucking out any extra fluid, which is then stored in the bladder's urine. Now, this process uses a delicate balance of sodium and potassium to pull the water across the cell walls from the bloodstream into that collecting channel that leads to the bladder. Now, eating salt raises the amount of sodium in your bloodstream and throws off this balance, reducing your body's ability or your kidney's ability to remove the water. Now, by eating more fruits and vegetables, you'll increase your potassium levels and to restore that delicate balance. Now, this will also help your kidneys to work more efficiently and help you lower your blood pressure to healthy levels. Now, the fourth food that we added to Mary's diet that helped her lose 80 pounds and helped her lower her blood pressure by 60 points in just 6 months is salmon. Now, fish are a great source of lean protein, and fatty fish like mackerel and salmon are high in omega-3 fatty acids, which can lower blood pressure, reduce inflammation, and lower triglyceride levels. Now, in addition, fish such as trout contain vitamin D, and foods that contain vitamin D have been shown to have blood pressure lowering benefits as well. And the fifth and final food that we added to Mary's diet was garlic. Now, I know garlic isn't technically a food, but I decided to add it anyway because of its list of amazing benefits. So garlic is a natural antibiotic and an antifungal, and its main ingredient is called allicin. And allicin is known or responsible for its many health benefits. Now, some research suggests that garlic increases the body's production of what's called nitric oxide, which helps the muscles of the heart and the blood vessels relax and helps them dilate. And these changes can reduce hypertension. Now, one study that I read reported that garlic extract reduced both systolic and diastolic blood pressure in hypertensive people. All right, guys, so there you have it. The 5 foods that we added to Mary's diet that helped her lose 80 pounds and helped her lower her blood pressure by 60 points in 6 months. Now, make sure you check the description box below for part 2 of this 3-part series where I go into the 8 foods that we took out of Mary's diet. Well, guys, that is it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you got something out of it. And as always, this is Mr. Fitness, the body transformation specialist, signing off. And where there's a will, there's a way. And I hope you have an amazingly fantastic day. Till next time.